so happy that I am so happy that we are together this evening. My name is Arafia Kimaro, or you can call me Mrs. Bukuru. And I am so honored today to be with you this evening. So thank you very much. And thank you for joining us. So I was born in Dodoma, Tanzania, raised in Dodoma. And yes, I was born in Dodoma, raised in Dodoma, and I lived as quite a happy child, and I grew up quite as healthy as you can imagine. And only to find out later on that I had developed some issues, some health issues that I never knew that would come and be such a big problem as I grew older. So now I'm a mother of two, but there was a time in my life when I thought I would not be a mom. And this is quite fascinating that so many other ladies are going through the same situation right now, and they don't know yet that there is a solution for that. So in April 2013, I was diagnosed with uterine myoma, or they call them fibroids. And and you can see up to now, the causes are still unknown. Actually, I asked the doctor, and I had never heard of fibroids before I had them. So it was quite challenging, and it was quite a shock to me because I had to go and Google and see what is it exactly. But too bad that I don't know if doctors are given customer service trainings, but the doctor knew everything about fibroid, but to me it was quite a new thing, and only to find out about it when I had the fibroids. So it was quite a tense situation. It jeopardized my health. I had 3 big fibroids in my uterus, and they were located in some places that they just had to be removed. And they also jeopardized my possibility of becoming a mom. So the doctor told me directly that you have 3 fibroids. The biggest one was 7 centimeters. The other one was 5 centimeters. And the smallest one was 3 centimeters. And one was located at the canal. And too bad that fibroids usually grow as little fingers in the uterus, and they come in multiples. Very few times that you'll find a person having only one mass. Usually you'll find a person having several fibroids, and they'll find a way to remove them when they are smaller. But fibroids can be very risky when they are bigger, and they can jeopardize a lot of things. So from 7 centimeters, 5 centimeters, and 3 centimeters, these were already quite big. And the doctor's suggestion was directly that I had to be operated. But at that particular time, I was already in bad situation. I was in bad shape because I didn't have enough blood, so I couldn't be operated immediately. My blood was 4. A normal human being need to have at least 12 to 14 or 10 to 12 blood, but mine was 4. So actually the doctor was surprised that how did I reach there, because that was even risky, that I was jeopardizing my life, that I would just drop dead somewhere because of the small blood I had. It would even jeopardize my heart situation, because the blood is so small and the heart pumps it so hard so that it can go through the body. So the doctor told me that I'll have to go, and he'll have to see me every month. I'll have to attend clinics so that he would see how am I doing, so that I can go through the operation. And to tell you the truth, the first time I went, I saw a different doctor, and this doctor did not explain everything to me, like what was fibroids and how did I get them, what were the causes and everything. So I just went home frustrated, and I had to come back the following day. I had to go back the following day. And then I found another doctor. So the previous doctor was just having a clinic on that day. And then the second doctor explained everything to me. So he told me the risk factors that people have, and we don't know until we go to the doctor that we already are sick. So what are these fibroids? So sometimes people hear them and they don't know, and they might even fail to understand in what situation they're in. So fibroids are benign muscle tumors. Benign means they're cancerous. And these are muscles that just develop in the uterus because of different things, different circumstances. And you can see from this picture that race can decide for that, endocrine can decide for that, the lifestyle we live, the diets we're having, the level of physical activities, the BMI, and the hormones levels, and the age. So fibroids can cause different things. And for me, I can see that I grew up as a chubby child, and it was quite fine. People used to think that a child being chubby is fine and it is okay and it is being healthy. I remember that I once got to the weight that I had after having 2 kids. Sorry, Baba. After having 2 kids, that's the weight I had when I was 16, 17. I was more than 70 kilograms. I was always at 75, 76, 78 while I was a teenager. So I grew up like that, and I had a body like a big woman before I was even that grown up. But then it was also because of the lifestyle, the things I ate. I remember one of the complications I had was constipation. But then I remember that we used to eat bread every single day, almost bread and margarine. So I can't mention the names, but bread and margarine was like our usual breakfast. And I would have the constipation. It would last even for 5-7 days sometimes. I went to boarding school from Form 1 to Form 6, and there was a time that it would be just once a week. So you can imagine what was going on in my gut system. So all of that was happening at the same time. And for a person not knowing until when you're 25, 26, at the time when you feel like now this is the epic of my life, and then you come to receive the news that you might not even be living the life that you dreamt. So fibroid can cause different, you can don't have symptoms, but can cause different complications. And these complications might bring you to the doctor, and only that you'll be able to find out. So if you have heavy and prolonged bleeding, if you have frequent urination, it might mean that your bladder is being pressed by something in there. And fibroid can be very dangerous. Fibroid can even cause infertility to some women, because as for me, the doctor told me that I'll have to be operated to be removed because that's the only medical solution available. But then if they find that there are more fibroids in your uterus, they'll just have to save your life. You can imagine if my blood went as low as 4, that was also a matter of saving my life. So I had to go for the holidays and see if I could, how would I recover, at least how would I gain my blood so that I would be able to go to the operation. After my holiday, I went back to the office. At that time, I was working with NBC Bank, and I went back to the office. So came from Dar es Salaam, went to Dodoma, and then came back. So that's when I met a lady, and this lady was approaching me for the business. She saw me as entrepreneurial. I was having my parcels because I was doing small entrepreneurship while at work. So this lady approached me and invited me for a meeting. So yes, I agreed and I went in. So in the meeting, and they talked about these complications that women have. And I saw that I had almost everything that they were saying. I remember the presenter asking, if you were to be given one chance to choose between health and money, what would you choose? It was only I and one elderly man of around 50, maybe 50, mid-50s. We raised hands for choosing health. So I knew that I was in a very bad situation, because at the age of 25, going 26, I was in a situation that I would risk or I'd leave anything else but go for just health, because that was the thing I missed at that time. And so that's how I joined Forever. Immediately, I signed up the form on that same day. I told that lady, I need these products. So I thank God I started immediately. And one of the things that changed immediately was the constipation. So I started the products, and the products I used were aloe vera gel. I started with aloe vera gel, and later on added some other things. I had to also seek some supplements for increasing my blood level. So I went for B12 and Fields of Greens. And for those who know us, you know that I met my husband in Forever Living Products. So I started my business in May 31st, and then I met Vincent in June 31st. So we got familiar. He got used to me, and he was very friendly from the very beginning. He was very friendly, and he would joke with me about having kids, like when we would be together, like how would our future be and all of that. But then I realized that, you know what, I just have to tell this gentleman, because otherwise it would be a problem to me, because I was so frustrated. I was only focused on how would I save myself from this. So I told him, you know what, don't even joke about that, because in this situation right now, I'm in a situation that I'm just looking for that solution to make me healthier, to see if I'll ever be a mom. So he told me, okay, let's see, what is your complication? What is your problem? What do you want to solve? What symptoms do you have, so that we can seek something, so that we can see and find something in forever that will help you to combat that problem. So I told him everything openly, that I have these complications, the constipation, I had no appetite, I had very little appetite. I had no stamina. I could not stand. I was a banker, a bank teller, but I could not serve the customers while standing. While as a banker, you have to be standing to serve the customers. So I'll just have to sit, because otherwise I'll fall down because of the dizziness, or I'll just fall because I would not be able to have that stamina to stand for a long time. But then still, I would have nausea so often. I would have nausea, so my appetite went lower and lower every time, as days go by. So we kind of made a pack, we combined some products that would be able to combat all these complications that I was having. So he came out with aloe vera gel, Active C, bee propolis. I usually had UTI. So I had repetitive UTI. The infection would come back so many times. I had taken so many antibiotics, and there was no solution for it, that I would just stay for several months. I would take antibiotics at least 3 times a year, and it wouldn't go away. So I also took bee propolis and B12 and fields of greens for the blood. So after 6 months, actually after the first month, the first month, so I'll take 3 aloe vera gels and each of the supplements, a can of it. So after the first month, the first thing I saw that changed was the constipation. So if I used to go for at least 5 days maybe, and then it changed, it went to 4 days, it went to 3 days, it went to 1 day. By the time I had regular boils like every day, it was a miracle. I don't remember when was the last time I had to poop every day. I could not remember that, because I had the constipation since I was really, really young. And then the second thing was the pain during period. I used to have very bad pains before my period. Actually, I would have pains like 3 weeks consecutively. I would have pain before my periods. I would have very bad pains during my period. I would have pain after my periods, and then I'll rest for like a week and then go back to the same cycle. So during this time, and I would miss office at least 2 days. I would start my period on let's say the first day, and then from the second and the third would be really a heavy flow. I would miss at least 2 days every month, and it reached to a point that my fellow the people I worked with would not understand. People would be joking like, what kind of pain do you have? Like, we all go through the same pain. But I need to urge you ladies that there are pain that is bearable, that is okay, because yes, the muscles are squeezing out that dirty blood and everything. But when this pain becomes worse, you need to seek help from the doctor. You need to take the supplements, because it could mean that something is wrong in there. So I was also told the same thing, that we usually have pains. So I matured when I was very young, and I was told that when you grow up, the pain would disappear, the pain would be lesser and lesser. But then it did not happen. Actually, the pain got worse and worse. And at this time, I would even faint. I remember that I would have to take painkillers before I start my periods. And if it happens that I had not taken my painkillers before I start my periods, I would end up in hospital with drips and everything. I remember only Buscopan would relieve me. So I'd be taken to the hospitals, and I remember twice when I was in university, I was carried by people not even knowing, like I fainted, and they took me to the dispensary, and only to wake up in the evening that I was at the dispensary, until they knew that whenever I was taken to the dispensary, they knew that I just needed Buscopan. It was that time of the month. So it was that bad. So the pain also went to really, really low. So on that month, I went to the office all the days in the month. So the first people to notice that I was changing were the people that I was working with. And then another thing, like the month that followed, then I started having my appetite. I remember I would not have the appetite, and I would eat the same food every day. But then I started gaining the appetite slowly. But then, and I started gaining weight. I started having the stamina. I started really enjoying my life, because I would not even go out because I was always tired. My routine was always just going to work and coming back home, And also because of the heavy bleeding, I would only wear the dark colored clothes, because I would be scared if I stain myself, because the flow would be really big. But then slowly I started to really enjoy my life like other normal girls. So this is when I met Vincent. And at this time he was really very cooperative. So I kept on going. And after the 6 months, so I went back to the doctor. Remember, the doctor had told me that I had to go back every month so that he can measure and see how my development. But when I started seeing the complications going away, I did not go back to the doctor. I did not go back for the clinics, because actually even measuring the fibroids is really embarrassing. You don't just do the topical ultrasound. No, they even insert something so that they can measure the sizes and everything. So I said, no way, I cannot go through that anymore, as long as I am feeling something is changing. So I did not go back. So after the 6 months, I decided that I had to go back and see what was happening inside, because outside I could see that I had major changes, but then I needed to know what was happening inside. So as I went back, I realized that two of the fibers had completely disappeared. Like I did not have the 753, I only had one left, and which was 4 centimeters. So it was a praise God moment, and I thank God that I reached to that point. And even the doctor himself said, you know what, continue and go do whatever you were doing. So I told him exactly what I've been doing. I told him how things have been going since the last time we saw each other. And this was the second doctor who explained to me what was fibroids and what would be the consequences. Because if I had 3, and then if they kept on developing, if they kept on growing, though I had to go through the operation, fibroids will usually come back. And because there's no particular reason for why fibroids come, so they cannot tell you, you have to avoid this, or you should not do this anymore, or maybe stop doing this so that they won't come back. No, even doctors themselves, the cause of the fibroid is still unknown. So the doctor explained to me, if this have worked, then continue doing so. And he even advised me that I should I should add some physical activities. I should eat more veggies. Actually, he told me not to eat red meat. And later on, I came to learn and understand that red meat when you have fibroids, you should not eat red meat because of the preservatives they keep, because of the added hormones for growing the animals and all of that. And the most common hormone that is put is estrogen, while women grow fibroids when the level of estrogen goes up. So these are the products I used all through the 6 months and later on. And after that, I became pregnant like several months after. So I only replaced the aloe vera gel and took the berry nectar, since it is also very friendly for kids, for pregnant women and for kids. So I went into berry nectar, but still continued with Vitalize for Women. And now Vitalize for Women was introduced. So I went into Vitalize for Women, B Propolis, and Fields of Greens, and B12 for the baby, and Active C. So we got married in 2014. So we still struggled during pregnancy. We struggled with the fibroid until the very last week, the very last ultrasound. That was when the baby was only left alone by the fibroid. There was no more fibroid on the very last ultrasound. But throughout, from the very early time that whenever we went to the clinic, we had to see what was the size of the baby and what was the size of the fibroid, so that the doctor would know how he would help the baby during birth time. So we thank God that by the time that it was due time, there was no more fibroid and the baby came out safely. So we thank God. For the firstborn, he came on 2014. And then our worry was for the next one. Actually, I lost my periods for 14 months. So it was also a shock, but the doctor told me it was because I stayed so long with my firstborn. So he breastfed for a very long time. So it was quite fine, because you can't conceive when you are frequently breastfeeding. So the second one, when I conceived it for the second one, the worry was that, are we still fighting with the fibroids or what? But only to find out that there was no more fibroids. So the journey was even happier, the journey was even safer. So we thank God. So now came another problem. So I stayed home for like 4 years after I had my kids. And you can see after my second one, I gained a lot of weight. So I'm like 156 centimeters. So my BMI is 56 to 60, let's say 56, 2 above and 2 lower, but I went to 76 and maybe more, because at 76 that was the day I measured, so that I started the FIT program. But I went even higher. There are some other pictures I hope you're familiar with, or you have seen, or you'll see later on, that showed me that I really gained so much weight. So this is also another problem for women. So girls, or I can say the female gender, gets so many problems as they grow from childhood to puberty, from puberty to trying to seek for fertility, from fertility to motherhood, from motherhood to over baby weight, and gaining all this weight just takes you to one place, and you can be so frustrated over it. So I remember I posted when I wanted to start my weight loss program, and I started still when the baby was still breastfeeding, but I posted exactly how my situation was. And I remember this last person here commenting is my cousin, and she's a daughter to my aunt who comes after my father. And she told me, she gave me a whole list of all the diseases and the complications, the non-communicable diseases that are in our clan. And remember, I showed you that it is also genetic. So many things are genetic, at least 5%, 5 to 20%. So some of all of these diseases she mentioned, which are also non-communicable, which means they come from lifestyle. She mentioned them and she said, you know what, these diseases can come earlier and you are at risk if you are obese. So you really need to reduce the weight. So this was like a go ahead for me. It was a pump for me. It gave me so much energy because I knew I was at risk of many things, because her mom had been suffering from diabetes for quite some time. It has even ruined her eyes. It has made her lose some of her limb. So it's quite complicated. But then when you think of the lifestyle, what the lifestyle will cause you, you can see that lifestyle can bring you to a position that you have never thought, to a position that you have never dreamt. So take a look at this picture here, and you can see this is a 4-generation picture. You can see there's a girl, there's a baby, there's a lady who, let's say maybe this is her first child, so she's in her early years of reproduction, yes. And so she's in the age, she's in the reproductive age, and then there's her mom, and then there's her grandmom. So this is a a picture of 4 generation ladies. But what I want to tell you here is, if we really concentrate on becoming healthy, if we really concentrate on how we can age with grace, if we really concentrate on how we can raise our children to be healthy young ladies, to be healthy moms, to be healthy grandmothers, we can eliminate so many complications in our society. Because most of our moms, most of the age of our grandmothers are suffering from so many things. And some of these things are just biological. Once a woman conceives, actually from the age of puberty, some countries start giving their girls supplements from the age of puberty, because they know as they lose blood every month, they also lose some nutrients, some minerals from the blood that they lose. So supplementation is very, very important. But then some societies also teach their girls not to be overweight, because they know the consequences. So once we teach our children, our girls from early childhood, that they need to take care of themselves, they need to love themselves from inside outside, so that they'll be able to stay healthier, so that they can avoid these challenges that we are having in these times, then we'll be saving our society, we'll be saving our generations. Because for this kind of, for women to not to neglect or to not take care of themselves will jeopardize the whole society. If the mother is not well, then the whole family might not be well. So I have some products that I can share from Forever Living Products, which might fit, or which fits all of this group according to the ages of these people in this picture here. So as a baby, or as a young person, as a girl, would need different supplements. At least if I say from the age of puberty, it is well if we start giving our children the supplement, is the mineral supplements. If we give them supplements to help them with their blood levels, if we give them supplements to help them with their energy level, and if we watch their appetite, because as they go into teenager, their appetite might increase. So let's help our girls so that we can save them from later on problems. And during fertility, we have so many products that can help women for fertility issues. So we have Royal Gel, we have Vitalize for Women, and we have Multimaca, and we have the aloe vera gel. This would really help for a lady looking to conceive, or who is in the reproductive age and wants to just settle well with her hormonal system and the whole reproductive system. So not forgetting the B12. The B12 should be taken even earlier, even before a woman conceives. And right now we can see that the problem of kids being born with their backbone outside, it has been a really big challenge. So B12, the natural folic acid, will really help with that. And when we are pregnant, we still have supplements from Forever Living Products that I also used, and I really had a nice time. I didn't have any complications, to say it. And I took Actic C, and these are the supplements to take for a lady who is pregnant. Give them Actic C, give them Fields of Greens, give them B12, give them Naturemin, and you can also add some vitamin C, or yeah, you can add some vitamin C, the absorbent C, or maybe Forever Kids for their appetite, so that they'll be able to eat everything that they can, so that they'll be able to eat well. And when they're breastfeeding, yes, you can still take gel or berry nectar, so that you still get the cleansing, because you'll need your body to produce the best milk for your child. So you can also have the protein shake as meal replacement, or as snacks, so that you can also have really nourished milk. but then you can still have Actic C because the baby can get it from your milk, or you can even give the baby directly, and the berry nectar or aloe vera gel. And something else about about taking supplements during pregnancy, this would really help your child with the boils and everything. And actually, we gave our children aloe vera gel at a very young age. Our first one drank our aloe vera gel at 2 weeks, and we didn't know, actually we didn't know if we could give our baby aloe vera gel at that time. And then he had this, he would cry at night, had not colic, but he really would cry a lot at night. So one of the lady from Tanzania Forever Living Products Management told us that, have you given him aloe vera gel? And we were like, no, we have not. So she said, yes, give her, you just give her a teaspoon, just give him a teaspoon and you'll see. So yes, he really gave, he had a lot to take out, and after that he did not cry anymore, so he was fine and he could even breastfeed well. So the second one, we didn't do the same mistake. So the moment she arrived home, that was like a welcoming celebration. So we gave her aloe vera gel, and she never had a problem with her stomach or with colic or with gas. So, and then at menopause, please, let's give our mothers the Vitalize for Women. Let's give our mothers Ginkgo Plus. Let's give them a better care. Let's give them berry nectar, because it will really help them. Actually, give them Agi Plus. It would really help them during this time, because this is the time when their bones are weak. This is the time, actually, Forever Freedom, this is the time that they lose memory, but then this is the time that they need your attention most. So we have products that can surpass all the needs that we have in our society. So I thank God I started the program, and after 6 months, this was the result. I lost 12 kgs, and you can see that I already saw a very big change from just losing 12 kilograms. And I'm saying just because I still had 8 to lose, because I had gained 20 kilograms. And you can see the kids were still healthy and were still fine. And I did not look bad from losing all that much weight, because it went step by step. And I lost the weight while I was still breastfeeding, and while the baby would still get the milk that was very nourished. So this was my major success, is from fat mama to fit mama. And right now I'm helping so many other ladies doing the same transformation and going back to their ideal weight. And this is my family right now. You can see us, and it's quite fascinating that from the challenges I had, and right now I'm a person who helps other ladies to see from the challenges they're having right now, and that they can come out victoriously and they can live their life as happy as they have dreamt. And that health challenges come and go, but then we need to be aware. We need to know what we can use. We need to know what else is available, so that we can use it and we can save ourselves and we can save people around us. So at this moment, well, I would say this is all I had to share with you. And thank you very much for being with me. If I can allow some few questions for the few minutes that we still have, then I would love to receive some questions. Hello, if anyone has a question. Okay, I see some chats here. Which products can Okay, there's a question here from Susie Rose. Which products did I take when I was pregnant? I took the same products that I was taking when I was fighting fibroids. So instead, I only changed for the gel. So instead of aloe vera gel, and that does not mean that it affected me in anyhow. No, it didn't. But I just went for berry nectar, since berry nectar works very well and very friendly with also kids and pregnant women. And since berry nectar is really good with cleansing the urine tract. So I went for berry nectar. I used berry nectar. I used Actic C. I used B propolis. I used A beta care. I used B12 and Fields of Greens. And which now for the space of A beta care, you can use Vitalize for Women still. And another question here is, which products can recommend to the women with blocked fallopian tube? Okay. Some women need to start with their weight. As I showed the previous picture, you need to go back to the risks that are around you. So for example, there are some women who would have to start with the weight program. So would have to start with the weight program. So whenever you talk to a person, you'll have to go back to what could be the cause of the problem they're having right now. So if it's the BMI, so start with dealing with the weight, so that when the person reduces the weight, then you'll be able to clear some other things, and then give them the supplements that would help them to clear the reproductive system. So again, you go back to the Vitalize for Women, berry nectar, royal jelly, and multi-marker. There's a question from Anne. Thank you, Fatima. Okay, my name is Rafia. For sharing your story, I am over 50 and the doctor told me I have very small fibroids. I already have children and would like to lead a healthy lifestyle. What would you recommend? Still, I would recommend the same products. So I would recommend that you take Vitalize for Women. I recommend that you take aloe vera gel or berry nectar. I recommend that you take B propolis. Yeah. Which products can be recommended for low quality egg and low body immunity? I thought B propolis can affect the baby because it's strong. No, B propolis is quite safe. Actually, if you are allergic, you start taking it small amount. You start by taking a very small amount. Actually, I used to take B propolis and B pollen because I was very, very weak. Actually, it was very dangerous for me to conceive at that time because I conceived when my blood was 9 and I was still not very healthy comparing to all the years that I had not been healthy. So I had only like few years, almost a year of being healthy. So I was still in that delicate situation. So I used to still take B propolis and B pollen. So it is quite fine. Actually, it would give this lady strength. Yeah, it is a natural antibiotic. So you just start by taking small amounts and then you see how it will react with your body. So you can start with just a quarter and then you go to a half and then to a whole. Fit now. Okay, thank you. So something, yes. Oh, thanks a lot. I have the same case. Okay. Go for the same solution. So maybe something else I can take you through is that For the people who are having fibroids, there are things that they can avoid to eat, and there are things that they can eat more. So for the things to avoid, red meat was one thing that I was recommended not to continue eating. Okay, there's a question here. Women with small fibroids and had an operation, and she wants to conceive. Which products recommended? The very same products. Yes, I have helped many ladies who had fibroids, small fibroids, and did not need operation immediately. I gave them the very same supplements, and these are the supplements nowadays that we use for people who have fibroids, and they help them. So we have many ladies whom we have given these supplements, and they help them. So use this very same products. Yeah, so red meat is because that most of the meat is most of the animals are grown and put the hormones. They are added hormones so that they can grow bigger. So these hormones put in these animals may raise the estrogen level. So you'd rather eat poultry or you'd rather eat fish. So I went to fish. I did not eat red meat for quite some time so that I can avoid that. And because you do not know, unless you go to buy from a farmer that really does the grazing. So what product can we use as women to avoid these fibroids? Okay, that is a major question. What would you use to avoid the fibroids? Since the cause is unknown, so what you need to know is that you need to be healthy, you need to eat well. And by eating well, I mean that you need to eat a balanced diet, and you need to avoid some of the things that I was going to say here. And the supplements that you can take are the same supplements that we use to remove them, because you don't know what causes them. What if it is the tomatoes that we eat every day throughout the day? What if it is let's say, what if it is the beans? Like all of us eat beans a lot, all of East Africa until Zambia, all of these areas, we eat beans a lot. So since the cause is unknown, then we need to take the supplements, and we need to eat well. So the supplements that you can take are the very same supplements that we take to remove them. Because fibroids don't have symptoms. You cannot say, you know what, I have a fever, this might be fibroid. No, you don't. Actually, so many women are walking around with fibroids not knowing. So just take the berry nectar, take the Vitalize for Women, take Multimaca, take Royal Gel, take Me Propolis. You can be safe. And exciting. Actually, we have amazing products. One day, a gynecologist told my client who had fibroids that she was blessed to have known me and that she should buy some beer for me. Okay. Reason: the size of her fibroids had been reduced and at an unpredictable level to him, and no operation was needed. She even became pregnant. So thank you for the presentation. Perfect. Exactly what happened to me. Yes, doctors do not know what causes fibroids. So when you understand, when you know about the supplements, tell people, take the supplements, because now you know that the supplements can remove the fibroids. So you know the solution. It does not matter if the doctor knows the solution. So just take the supplements. They're really safe. They're really nice. I had the very same situation as this lady is saying here. And you can avoid so many complications in your life by just taking the supplements. Can you post the product again for fibroids? Okay. Okay, so here are the products before I was pregnant and after I was pregnant. I joined Forever because I had a hormone imbalance. Okay. Hi, Mombi. This is Mombi. So yes, so many women are having hormone imbalance. So you might see a lady reacting in some way. You might see a lady being some way. Maybe they are moody and you don't understand what is happening to them. This day she's happy, the next day she's not. This moment she's happy, the next she's not. It could be the hormonal imbalance. So save your sisters, save these ladies around you. Even with menopause, I helped a lady who was sweating. She would sweat that she would wet her clothes, and she thought it was the she thought she had another problem, and only to find out that it was menopause. So I gave her some supplements for menopause, and she was fine. So let's save these ladies. Sorry, I did not hear the products for low quality eggs and low body immunity. Come again. I have ovarian cyst, breast lumps, but FLP supplements helped me. That's how I ended up building the business. Perfect. Wow. Oh, wow. Sorry, Mumbi, and congratulations to you. Large muscle loss is associated with gallstones production. In a case it happened to a client, how do you manage it? Okay, what's the model? Fibers management and blocked fallopian tubes. Wow, this will have to really dig deep so that we can know what to give to her. So Dr. Muchemi, please, can you text this to Mr. Enos, or I'll just screenshot it from here and then we can discuss more about that. We really need to read, we really need to understand people's problems before we give them supplements. So let's do that. Can someone with 14.2 fibroids have them shrink? Yes, any fibroid can shrink. We've helped people with very big fibroids to shrink, and sometimes you reduce the risk of the operation they would have. So if 14 centimeters right now, the size of the operation, the outcome, the consequences of the operation would be really big. But what if you reduce this fibroid to, let's say, 5 centimeters, even if it will have to be removed, but then the consequences won't be as big as if it is 14 centimeters. So help a person to the level that you can, and then she'll decide the rest, but they can be reduced to that level. And sometimes the person might have the operation and then be able to conceive later on. I have a friend who had a really big fibroid. It came out 3 kilograms as a child. Her stomach was as big as if she was pregnant. Then one of her tubes was removed, but then she was able to conceive with the other tube that remained. Post a picture when you were married. I need it. Okay. Kindly text fibroids remedies again. Here they are. Okay. So another thing to avoid is high fat dairy, and also the whole milk. Okay, the issue of whole milk is really a debate in nutrition. So the whole milk, butter, cream, it is all as the same as red meat. So if you can avoid that, please do, because the animals are they are injected hormones. So if you can avoid that, just avoid that. And if you have to find milk, please find them from the farmers who are doing free ranging, so that you can have milk from the cows that really do pasture on their own and are not given the hormones to grow. Okay, true, Rafia, my cysts were big. Doctor said I needed to remove my ovaries, but products reduced. Let's see. Let's seek different opinions for better decision making. Exactly. Do not just take what the doctor said. Go further. And foods rich in saturated fats, like the cookies, the sweets, the chips. And most of the time, people with fibroids goes to these things because they don't have the appetite. They only look for something that will give them strength, that will just raise their insulin. So they will go for sweet things or for salted things. So these things also take up the estrogen levels. So reduce or leave completely these things with saturated fats. And something else is caffeine. I know we run by caffeine, but then what if caffeine is jeopardizing your health? So we should really try. Why not go for FAB? Why not go for AG Plus? That is my biggest challenge this year. I've been working so hard. That I go to the office. I reach my office at least before 7, and I'm usually out at 7 p.m. So staying at the office the whole day, seeing clients and doing presentations, doing trainings for the team, all of that takes a lot of energy. But my way of boosting my energy is taking AG Plus, is taking FAB. Actually, I take AG Plus, I take Vitalize, I take Multi-Marker, and it gives you so much energy. I take Ginkgo Plus, so I stay sharp the whole day. So as I'm talking right now, I've been up since 5 in the morning, so you can imagine. So I really thank God. So you don't need caffeine, you need vitamins, you don't need caffeine at all. So high levels of caffeine can cause high level of biochemicals in the body, which can form tumors such as the uterine fibroids. So avoid caffeine so that you can be healthier. And also the salted food, they also go and disturb the liver. While as you go disturb the liver is something that help you to remove the toxins in your body. So avoid that so that you can be safe. And we only have some few minutes. What can a woman who is pregnant and has fibroids and she bleeds all the time do? Oh, so sorry. Okay, you still need to take, you need to take Vitalize for women. If you're scared of taking Vitalize for women, though you shouldn't. I took Vitalize for women. I took Actic C. So please take Actic C first. Let's start with Actic C and B propolis and B12 and fields of greens. Let's start with that. Has this woman been taking berry nectar or aloe vera gel? If she has, she can just add Actic C and B propolis and yeah, because the beauty of omega-3 is that it helps with the hormones. So take Actic C and all of that. What product can help? Another thing that we shouldn't take is white bread. We do not need much of white bread. Actually go for brown and all of that. What products can help? Which products are good for liver? That is another thing, but we have a lot. We have aloe vera gel and we have aloe vera gel, we have AG Plus. They all help a lot with the liver. So you can go for that. We now have the super green. Yeah. Are the gels safe during pregnancy? Yes, they are if a person have been taking gel. I've been taking gel before I was pregnant, during pregnancy and after pregnancy, and I did not have any problem. So if a person have been taking gel already, that it might not disturb them. But for people who have not taken aloe vera gel, then don't give them, because yes, what if? Yeah, you don't want to cause any problem to anybody. So if a person have been taking gel or berry nectars, it is fine, they can continue. We did that, and so many other ladies here in Tanzania do that, and we have been quite fine. We've been well all through our pregnancy time. Well, as we are left with just like a minute, I would love to say thank you very much for being with me. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for all your questions. And thank you very much for all the testimonies. Thank you. Yeah, so thank you very much. I hope you all had something that you have. I hope you all learned something. I hope you are all going to share the knowledge you've got, the experience we shared here. And let's go and touch some more lives. Let's go touch ladies. Let's go touch women around us, in our environment, and let's go touch our society. So thank you very much. Once again, it is Rafia, and you can call me Fit Mama. See you again next time. Thank you.